Okay. Yeah. So from absolute perspective, I have no capacity to suppress karma. Karma are of their own, and I'm of my own. I means a soul. I'm of my own. Karma are of their own. So, but when we talk Karnani Yoga perspective, when we talk from karma perspective, then we use the word I suppress the karma. Now, what happens when karma gets suppressed? I have certain changes occur within my soul substance, and I have this soul substance has an absolute purity occurs within my soul substance, and at that time, correspondingly, karma in the form of nimit naimitic sambandh, they will get suppressed. So, in Karnanic perspective, we'll say that I suppress the karma. So, on the back of our mind, we have to have understanding that karma, I don't suppress, but they do of their own, I do my own, and they too have the nimit naimitic sambandh, principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. So, those are the things that we have to keep in mind. Now, what happens when karma gets suppressed, then the purity generated, which lasts for a very short time. Once that short time is over, then the karma fruition comes up again. And this mithyatva means wrong belief, deluding karma, comes in the fruition again. And at that time, it gets divided into these three parts. Mithyatva moniya karma, samyaktva moniya karma, and mishra moniya karma. Three come in fruition. Suppression was one unit only. When it comes in fruition, it comes as three different entities. If the predominantly mithyatva moniya means wrong belief deluding karma are principally present there, then soul goes to first gunsthanak. If the right belief deluding karma are coming in fruition, then soul goes into kshayapsham samyak darshan. And when clouded right belief means a mishra moniya karma comes in fruition, then soul goes to second gunsthanak, and from second it goes to first. So the second gunsthanak remains very transiently. There is also third gunsthanak comes. Third gunsthanak comes in which
Your uncle.
Yes.
Okay. We started this discussion by saying that darshan mo is suppressed,
yes,
and there's anubhav.
Yes.
And then you said that if mithyatva moniya comes into that, if mithyatva moniya surges, then you go back to one, and so on and so on and so forth. Here's my question. Here's my question. From the maybe you can answer this. I don't know. From an experience point of view,
yes,
is there any difference for the person who's experiencing it between Atmanubhav with the suppression of all three versus Atmanubhav with the experiencing of samyakmo?
Okay, yes, okay. Means, is there any difference in experiencing with the upsham samyaktva or kshayapsham samyaktva?
Yes.
Okay. No, there is not. Exact same thing you experience. The experience that is Siddha Bhagwan is experiencing at this moment right now, or Aryan Bhagwan is experiencing the experience right now. One experience is exact same experience because the faith attributes directed to the eternal soul substance. So my experiencing phase, when I'm engrossed into the soul substance, that experience is exactly same as what Aryan and Siddha Bhagwans are experiencing. Only thing, they have forever same experience continues. And for this soul, it is transient experience. And so that transient experience only, but the same quality as the Aryan and Siddha Bhagwan. And that's why That's why when he comes out of the experience, he said, wait a second, what happened to me? I was going perfectly okay. Why did I come out of these things? So let's say that soul now goes back to mithyatva. He already has experienced a soul, and he said, that's the one I would like to go back to. That's the one I would like to go back to. And so all his personal efforts, all his purushas are directed towards re-experiencing that one. So even if he's in mithyatva, that mithyatva is very short-lived. Let's
so
take
then that kind of soul,
yeah,
even if it experienced upsham samyak darshan for like 5 samays, like a very small amount of time, that soul will never forget about the soul. That soul in that life, I would think, will never forget it and will do everything that they possibly can. When you if you go to a city and you eat a slice of pizza and you really like it, that means whenever you go to that city, all you'll do is go there and nowhere else. And so I would think that if the soul experiences this, even for a fleeting moment in that life, the rest of that life will be dedicated to nothing else but trying to get back there.
That's called Vyavar Samyaktva.
Okay.
Because now all his effort, that's all, he's going crazy right now, quote unquote crazy, because that's all I want, that's all I want. I mean, a person falls in love with a girl. Girl is not present, but he's constantly thinking. He could be working in the hospital, he could be working in the office, he could be working in the bank. He will be doing all his activities, but in the back of his mind, constantly he is thinking about his loved one. Same way here, no matter what he does, his constant urge to go back within, and so all his efforts are directed that way. He has no other interest in the life. For example, Kripaludev, when he was doing business, he was doing a jewelry business. And one time he asked, I think Devchandji Muni or one of the Muni, and Kripaludev said, Muni, when you are giving lectures, when you are giving your pravachan, would you be able, there are women too, right? He said, yes. Do you end up seeing them? And Muni said, yeah. Then they said, then your sadhupanu, your sadhupanu is gone. It's useless. So this Muniraj also was very intelligent. So he says, so who you are to tell me that, Kripaludev, you are also doing this business of diamonds, pearls and everything. So why you are giving me this kind of advice? Kripaludev said, listen, I'm doing that business, but I don't have a 1 cent of interest in that one. So Kripaludev wanted to go within, but by default, he has to do the business. He has to get married. He has to have children. He has mother, father, and everything. So all those things are still there, but his constant lounging is, how can I go back? How can I go back? How can I go back within me? I mean, when he was doing business, as soon as there is nobody there, right away he'll start reading scriptures or end up writing something. This is kind of a feeling that one gets it. So
well, then Kirit, all these munis and all these sadhus, if they've experienced this, then what they're doing, it's easy. It's the easiest way to stay close to themselves. It's the easiest way to focus on themselves. It's the easiest way to make sure that all their efforts are directed inwards, because they don't have to deal with any of the nonsense that anybody else has to deal with.
Well, physically they don't have to, but if your intentions, my God, look at that. This guy has a cell phone. This guy has TV. This guy has a computer. I can't have access. And if those kind of attitudes are there in his mind, then he's constantly thinking about that one. And who am I, or who you are, to say that this monk has a samyak darshan and that monk does not have samyak darshan?
No, well, I'm not saying that. Here's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, okay, and I guess we're going off track here, but I think it's a worthwhile discussion. If, let's say tomorrow, or like in an hour, I have Atmanubhav, I experience myself.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's just say in an hour for 1 Samay or 2 Samay or 4 Samay, I've experienced myself.
Yes.
Then, it's the most amazing experience that you could ever have in the entire universe.
Yes.
So once you've experienced that, everything is nonsense and garbage to you. It's meaningless and it's a waste of your time, and you know that.
Yes.
Now, in my case, so I have absolutely no responsibilities. So if I was that person and I had no responsibilities and I experienced that, listen, I've never been in that position, so I can't really say what would happen, but I would think intellectually that I drop everything and I run away and I go someplace where nobody's going to find me, nobody's going to bother me, and I can spend every last waking moment of my life to get back to that point where I felt that kind of pleasure. Am I wrong?
That's what that is supposed to happen to everybody. But remember, as you already answered your question that I don't have any responsibility, but you still have, for example, we are just taking example, don't take anything personally, but let's say, okay, I have the experience tomorrow morning. Now, can I run away? Well, Kathy, I don't think Kathy is on the line, but she was telling me, she raised this question to me. She said that, Kirit, I can't believe I was following Buddhism, and now what you are telling me, real nature of monk and everything, that Buddha, Gautam Buddha, he left his wife and kids. He had responsibility. How can he leave them while they are sleeping and he runs away? He has responsibility. He married with his own will. He had a child. And so so those are the things. For Mahavir Swami Bhagwan, for example, as the story goes, when the parents expired, thereafter Mahavir Swami told older brother that I would like to take monkhood. And the brother said, you know what, parents just passed. Would you please wait for a year or so? And Mahavir Swami said, yes, I will do that. Because he fulfilled his responsibility. So you are also having your whatever responsibility you may have. You can run away tomorrow, no problem. As long as whatever responsibility you have it to create your family's unit and everything, you try to fulfill their desire, fulfill the requirement, So those are the things that even staying in the household, Kripaludev stayed as a householder and he still continued his sadhana. Whenever the time permitted, he ended up going within. Remember the last words Kripaludev spoke before his separation from the body. What did he say? In the morning of the day, Chaitra Panchami day, he told his brother Mansukh, Banu Dhyan Rajya. That's the last word he spoke, and thereafter he went in Samadhi, and in the late afternoon he left his mundane body.
But he was also Sansari.
Yeah.
So that's his job. He has to do those things, otherwise he's not a Sansari. If he didn't do those things, he's a Muni.
Yes. So your question is why somebody should not increase his personal effort and just go back within. That's a question, right?
Yeah, my question is that if you've experienced that and you realize that everything is a complete waste of time, like, people go out of their way to take the fastest route to their destination because they know they're going to save time, they're not going to waste time, and they're not going to create inconvenience for themselves. Yeah. My question is, if you really experience it, and maybe some people experience it before they run away, some people experience it after they run away, I don't know. Maybe it's both. Okay. But let's say you experience it before you run away and you're in the middle of nonsense, utter nonsense, I would think that, in addition to the understanding that, wow, this is a waste, you would have some sort of inclination, some sort of drive, some sort of impetus to say, you know what, I'm cutting my losses, I'm throwing my hands up, and I'm making my plans to move on. Goodbye.
That's what it happens, whether you do externally or whether you do internally. He already has done that part. That soul internally, he has done it. Goodbye to everybody. Now, whatever responsibility I have to finish it up, I will do it, but I have no part of those things. And he will remain in sansar, he will remain with the family unit and everything, but he will remain kind of totally aloof from within. And I'll give you one example. What does that aloofness mean? Aloofness means you are, let's say I'm working in a bank and I'm counting millions and millions and millions of dollars every day. Do I make mistake? No. Do I have opportunity for those dollars? No. They are not mine. So why should I be careful? Well, I'll be careful, but I'm detached. They are not mine. My thing is only at the end of 2 weeks, whatever paycheck goes in my account, that is mine. So he does complete work, but he's totally detached. Same way, this person in the sansar, in the family surrounding, will do complete responsibility, whatever he or she has it, but internally that person is detached. So this detachment starts as soon as you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 Samaysar experience, that detachment already has started, even though you are back into mithyatva.
Okay.
Take the example of Kripaludev, that he had a Samyak Darshan, he was in the Mahavir Swami's Samosaran and everything, and with he ended up all the way to 11th Gunsthanak, the suppression ladder, he took it, and from suppression ladder from 11th Gunsthanak, soul definitely does fall down, and ultimately he came all the way down to first Gunsthanak. And this was 2,500 years back passed by, and now he obtained again Samyak Darshan in this life at this 24 year of age.
So Kirit, that means he was born at 1, and he stayed at 1 until 24, and then he rose to 4 and he stayed there? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, so Srimadji,
yeah,
after he fell from 11 onwards, all the way down to 1,
yeah,
he was born at Gunthan 1, correct?
Yes, Gunthan 1, yes.
And he stayed at Gunthan 1 until age 22, or whatever, 24, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then when he experienced himself, he rose to the 4th Gunthan. And then if you're saying that he stayed, did he stay there for the duration of his life?
Yes. What
and that must have been Kshav Samyak Samyak Darshan.
Yes. See, I mean, now, see, we have to see the sentence you spoke from 2 different perspectives. What we are talking from the perspective, from the Karnan Yoga perspective. And some people, they become very emotional and they look from emotional perspective. What Kripaludev wrote down, that in 1947, Samvat 1947, I obtained pure Samkit, Samyak Darshan experiencing. So people say pure Samkit means Kshayik Samkit.
No, that could be Upsamik as well, right?
Actually, it was only Upsam. Because Upsam, remember, as I said, dirty water you took, you put alum, and all the dirt is sitting down, and pure water is there on the top. That is called pure Samkit also. It lasted transiently, but after he came out of the things, probably his right belief deleting karma came in the fruition, and he became Kshav Samyak Darshan. Continued thereafter.
Okay.
And how long it will continue? Well, it can continue short time or long time, but that quote unquote long time means nothing. What nothing means? He is from infinite amount of previous lives and everything. Now that he has come almost to the shore, and that shore can take 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives, or whatever, and then he's gone. That soul obtains liberation. So, did he have Kshayik Samkit, Kshav Samkit, Upsam Samkit?
Didn't he bounce around for a long time after he first? That soul bounced around for a very long time, right?
Yeah, but very long time means, according to me and you, when we compare the time from our perspective, but when you're looking for infinite times that we have passed by in the past, Compared to that, it's not even a droplet of a water. In front of the ocean, the droplet, even minuscule part of the water, that time is left for this person to obtain liberation. For example, I'll give you another example, that the 5 Pandavas are there and they are doing their final meditation, and they are on a Satrunjay mountain, that's a Palitana. And while they're in deep meditative phase, they're in Sukla Dhyan already. At that time, Duryodhan, means Pandav's cousin brother, Duryodhan, his nephew came and said, these are the 5 Pandavas, they make my mama lose the war, so I'm going to take revenge. So he has all the ornaments, he made the ornaments of the iron and put it in a hot furnace, and this hot iron ornaments, he put it on all the 5 Pandavas. 3 Pandavas, Yudhishthir, Bhim and Arjun, they were so deep meditative phase, they have no idea what is happening. Sahadev and Nakul, remaining 2, they were also in deep meditation. They felt this hot, red hot ornaments on their body. What they said, what will be happening to my brothers? That's only one vikalp, one reflective thought came to both of them. Not for themselves, for somebody else, for their brothers. Those 3 brothers, they did not come out of the meditative, this Sukla Dhyan, they went to moksha, and these 2 brothers, because of this short one vikalp, only one reflective thought, they end up going to Sarvat Siddhi. They'll be staying there for 33 Sagropam, and thereafter they'll be going to moksha. Okay? So to us, it's a huge time-wise. But when you're looking for the infinite time that you pass by, 33 Sagropam is not in a droplet of a water in front of the whole ocean. So those are the things that we have to keep thinking, that once I have experience, once you have experience, we are sure to get liberated no matter what. Sometimes it takes time. Rishabdev Bhagwan, it took 1,000 years. Mahavishwami Bhagwan, it took 12.5 years. Malinath Bhagwan, it took 1 year. And Bharat Chakravarti, it took only Antar Murat only. 2 Gadi only. 48 minutes only. So time can vary. It doesn't make any difference. I'm going to get liberated now because I'm on the right track, because I experienced myself. That's all remains there now.
Okay, then Kirit, let me ask you this now.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not trying to cause problems, but I'm curious.
No, it's okay. We have to have clarity, so no problem.
How can you have deep and strong vairagya without something special, without something, some purity, some experience, something that guides that vairagya? I'm talking about Muhraj. I'm talking about these deeply elevated,
Yeah. Remember, Kun Swami lived for 90 years. He was in 6th and 7th Gunsthanak. His personal efforts were, quote unquote, not strong enough that he did not get liberated this time, and he ended up going to the heavenly life. Now, you mean Kun Swami has a less interest in the moksha and everything? He has exact same interest, but everybody's personal efforts and load of karma they are different. And so, as we said, different people have a different time frame. So it is like you are running the marathon. The first guy finished in 2 hours and 4 minutes, and you finish in 2 hours and 6 minutes, 2 hours and 7 minutes, 2 hours and 10. They all finished. So that's all it counts. When happens, what happens, why it happens, why it gets delayed, you are there. Because karma science is so specific that whatever karma comes in fruition, if I get joined in that one, I bind the new karma, and all those things are predetermined from the karma perspective. And from the soul's perspective too. Does it make sense to you? I mean, this was the same question we had last week, and it's good we had a clear understanding of the what we are talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we said that the soul goes to, my thing is not working so good, so I have to just go on this way. Okay, let me try. Hopefully this will work now. Okay, so now same scenario here, and what happened? This is the first gun sthanak I'm in, because all the deluding karmas are present. When I'm on the same scenario, but right belief deluding karma means wrong belief subgroup of wrong deluding karma, right belief deluding karma, clouded right belief deluding karma, they are gone, plus infinite bondage producing means anantanubandhi, krodh, man, maya, lobh are gone. That means I'm on fourth gun sthana. That means this is experiencing phase occurred. Whether it could be upsham means transient, whether it's a kshayopsham means last time for a long time, or whether it's a kshaik which is going to stay there forever. We are not working, we are not talking about what type of guns, what type of samyak darshan is it. Samyak darshan is there. That's all we are looking for, fourth gun sthana. I have experiencing of my soul transiently or remaining forever, but I have that experiencing occurred. That's a fourth gun sthana. What happens in fifth gun sthana? Same scenario, plus partial vow preventing passion karma are gone, and so I'm on a fifth gun sthana. Means right now the soul is called Shravak. He's called householder. He is on the path to the elevation. He's on fifth gun sthana. Now, I call you as a Shravak, you call me a Shravak. That is conventional usage of the form, but in general, when we say Shravak, means from Karnaniyog perspective, that person is on fifth gun sthana. What exact thing happens and everything, we will talk later on when that subject comes. But right now, our perspective, what happens in fifth gun sthana, these many karmas are gone. Right belief deluding karma, infinite bondage producing karma, partial vow preventing passions, they are gone. So soul is on a fifth gun sthana. Now, same scenario, but even total vow preventing passions are gone also. That means soul is on sixth and seventh gun sthana. The purity is now much, much more. On fourth gun sthana, the literature says that person will get experiencing of the soul every 3 to 4 months or whatever. When the person in a fifth gun sthana, on an average, he may get experiencing of the soul about every 2 weeks or so. And when he's in a sixth and seventh gun sthana, constantly throughout the day, but in innumerable time, he will keep on.
Sorry, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But you said that when there's this Shayapshamik Samyak Darshan,
yes,
it's continuous experience.
Yes. No, hold it. The Kshayapsam Samyak Darshan means the person has experience of the soul and now he continues his Samyaktva. When the Samyaktva is going on, he can still be doing householder's duties. He can be doing auspicious activity. He could be doing inauspicious activity. But in the back of his mind, constantly he knows that I'm doing this one, but they are not supposed to be done by me. It is just like the person coming from the very high noble family and he goes to alcohol place and he starts drinking alcohol. On the back of his mind, he constantly says, I'm doing this with my weakness. I'm not supposed to do it. Same way, Sarvapsam Samyak Darshan Jeev, he has a experiencing of the soul occurring every 2 weeks, every 3 months, every day, so many times, depending on what gunsthanak he is. But when he's out of experience, he still has weakness to get join in his karma fruition. When he joins in karma fruition, he says, this is not, I'm supposed to do it, but my weakness makes me do it. And so I have to increase my personal efforts intensity that much more, not to be in those auspicious or inauspicious phase. I would like to stay within my true nature only. So experiencing comes in two phases. One, Samyak Darshan has two phases. One experiencing phase and one without experiencing phase. If one of us gets Samyak Darshan today and thereafter gets converted to Kshop Samyak Darshan, means if we are on the fourth Gunsthanak only, we will get experience again in 3 to 4 months' time. This is general statement that it may not be true for everybody. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I understand. So we drew the distinction between experiencing and non-experiencing.
No,
yeah, my question.
While I'm in experiencing phase, the real experience, when I'm in the primary abstract comprehensive nirvikalp dasha.
That's Vitarag, right?
But yeah, but when I'm out of nirvikalp dasha, I still know that I have a Samyak Darshan. I have to be staying within also, but I'm being pulled outside. And at that time, for example, Kunkun Swami, let's take his example. Kunkun Swami, when he comes out of his experiencing phase, he's experiencing, then he's out, he's experiencing, then he's out. Constantly throughout the day, between 6th and 7th Gunsthanak, he keeps on moving. He keeps on. So while he's outside of his experiencing phase, then he says, I don't want to get involved into my inauspicious activity. So what will I do? I would like to get involved a lot more into auspicious activity. So inauspicious has no place in my life at all. So he will say, I will write the scripture, or I will discuss the scripture to my fellow beings, my fellow munis and my Sravak and everybody. So he tries to remain, but constantly he's lounging to go back within. So when Kunkun Swami is out of his experiencing phase and to stay away from the inauspicious activity, he ends up writing scripture. Thank God he did for us that 2,000 years down the road, we have all those things available. While he was worrying about it, he didn't want to stay in that state, but because his effort was not that strong enough to stay within himself also only. Mahavir Swami took 12.5 years to remain non-stop experiencing phase for 12.5 years. Non-stop experiencing phase for 48 minutes. That's why we do Samaik for 48 minutes. We do the imitation that what will happen when I'm monk. Can I remain in equanimity state for 48 minutes? Those are the things. So rituals have a deep-seated meaning if we understand.
Your uncle?
Yes.
Okay, say a soul is in the fourth Gunsthanak but is not in Atmanubhav.
Yes.
Outside of Atmanubhav.
Yes.
Does that soul experience Anantanubandhi Asra?
Yes, because no, he doesn't have Ananta. Because remember, yeah, very, very smart question you're asking. This slide, I'll just throw it one. This slide, let me bring it. Okay, this one. That this soul has a Samyak Darshan occurred. So these guys are gone. When it's gone, means gone. So even though he is doing worldly activities, he's not binding infinite bonded producing karma when he's on a Kshop Samyaktva or Kshaik Samyaktva. So he will do the activity, but he will have the bondage only for partial vow, total vow, perfect conduct preventing passion only. And these are so weak karma 99% of the karma bondage are gone when infinite bondage producing karma are destroyed. So that's why it says, when a Samyakdarshi Jeev, he is eating and laughing and doing the regular activity. And Mithyatvi Jeev, he's doing right now upvas and everything. So this guy is laughing and enjoying the life, and this guy is not eating, fasting, and all those things. Mithyatva gunsthanak. Mithyatva gunsthanak. So every samay he keeps on binding infinite bonded producing karma and rest of the other karma too. The Samyakdarshi Jeev, who is eating, laughing, joking, and all the things, and you said, wait a second, what is happening to him? He is binding karma, but they are partial vow, total vow, and perfect vow, conduct preventing passion, which is extremely feeble in nature compared to infinite bondage producing karma.
Kirit?
Yeah.
So when you're in experience, is everything X'd out? For the, let's say you're Upshamik Samyakdarshi darshan,
yes,
and you experience yourself for 2 samays or 2.5 or whatever, 3 samays.
Yeah.
For 3 samays, is everything X'd out?
No, they are suppressed. But what is happening now in the experiencing phase? Okay, my God, you are really thinking really deep and beautiful. I'm so happy, so happy. What is happening in experiencing phase? You are asking me while he is in the experiencing phase right now. So infinite bonded producing karma are gone. Even in Upsamsa, remaining are present. Partial vow, total vow, perfect vow, conduct preventing passions are present. And they kept on operating. And as a result, soul subclinically keeps on doing certain thought process which is beyond this soul's intellect to grab that one. While experiencing is going on, whatever he's in 4th gunsthanak, 5th or 6th gunsthanak, whatever gunsthanak he is on, he has remaining karma are still operating within. And as when they are operating, the soul subconsciously gets attached to those karmas fruition also. But the soul in the experiencing phase, he has no capacity to feel that he is binding the karma right now. So that's why it says that experience of the Samyakdarshi Jeev at 4th, 5th, or 6th, 7th Gunthanak or Siddha Bhagwan is same. But the difference is, for example, a blind man is eating sugar and a person who has 2 strong eyes is eating the sugar. What is the experiencing difference between those tastes of the sugar in both the people? Experiencing is same. Only thing, blind person cannot see the sugar, and the person with 2 eyes, he can see the sugar. That's only seeing wise, knowledge wise, there's a difference. But experiencing wise, there is no difference. Same way, this just soul on the 4th, 5th, or 7th Gunsthana is experiencing, and experience is same as the blind man getting the sugar taste versus the 13 and 14. Arihant and Siddha Bhagwan getting experience is a person with the 2 eyes experiencing sugar. So that is only the difference. Experiencing is the same. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And these are very, very, very deep meaning. And because Karnani Yoga is specific, there is no if, and, or buts. It says, I'm on 4th Gunsthana, means I keep on giving fruition to rest of the karma. Whether soul wants to join or not, I don't worry about it. But I keep on giving fruition. When the fruition is there, soul gets joined subclinically. Medical word, right? We have to throw some medical. Subclinically, soul, which he cannot, the soul in the experiencing phase cannot grab that subclinical attachment. But it does, it happen. So he does get a karma bondage even in the experiencing phase. But it's very subtle, very subtle. Because these guys are very subtle thereafter, because they are very, very minimal, because 99% of karma bondage is gone when infinite bondage producing karma are gone. So these are the things, it's very understand. We have to have some basic, because if we don't understand this part, then we are, 1 second, hold it. So we have to have some understanding of Karnani Yoga when we are doing Dravyanu Yoga also, because that becomes very important for us. Okay, any next question?
I'm okay for now.
You're okay, all right. Okay, all right. So as we said, this is the 5th Gunsthana. Then this is 6th and 7th Gunsthana. Now the monk from 6th and 7th Gunsthana ultimately goes to 8, 9, 10, 11. It's called separation ladder. He's climbing that ladder. Or 8, 9, 10, and 12 ladder, which is called elimination ladder. Bear with me with the names. 8, 9, 10, 11. Separation ladder. 8, 9, 10, 12 is an elimination ladder. So soul on a 6th, later part of the 7th Gunsthana, he decides which ladder I'm going to climb. So if he goes to suppression ladder, he gets stuck on the 11th Gunsthana. And from there, he ultimately falls down. Ultimately means after Antarmurat, he falls down. 8, 9, 10, 11, it also takes Antarmurat to reach there. From 11th, within Antarmurat, he is going to fall down. He'll fall down and may stay at the 6th, maybe 5th, maybe 4th, maybe 1, depending on certain situation. And the soul on the later part of the 7th Gunsthana went to elimination ladder, so he goes to 8, 9, 10, and 12th Gunsthana. And that also occurs in Antarmurat. On 12th Gunsthana, all the Monya karmas, let's go one more thing here, so that way it makes sense. All these things are gone. That's the end of 10th Gunsthana. Everything is gone. And now comes 12th Gunsthana. Now comes the elimination ladder or suppression ladder, in which all the deluding karma are not operating. In the suppression ladder, they are transiently not operating. In elimination ladder, they are totally gone. So in the 12th Gunsthana, all the deluding karma are gone, and that soul is called Vitrag. That also lasts for Antarmurat. And once that Antarmurat is over, that soul will go to 13th Gunsthana. He will become Omniscient Lord, because now he has a pure knowledge also. And from that, now he's coming to, this is the 13th Gunsthana. What happens in 13th? Yoga is still operating. And so there is a vibratory capacity of the space point of the soul are still going on. That's why called Sayogi Kevli, means he has a physical body, mind, and speech are present. And so that's called Sayogi Kevli, that's called Aryan Bhagwan, that's called Tirthankar Bhagwan. So once this part is there, once the soul ends up with the age-determining karma, and then ultimately he goes to the 14th Gunsthana, which is called Ayogi Kevli. in which all the space point of the soul space point, they become now stationary, so there is no yoga remaining. So what we saw, up to 12th Gunsthana, deluding karma are predominant. 13 and 14 Gunsthana, yoga is predominant, and 14 Gunsthana onwards, the soul is the Adobe of Siddha. He is a pure soul, remaining karma-free, remaining pure, remaining forever in his supersensuous bliss and omniscience knowledge forever and ever and ever and ever. So this is the way Gunsthana work. So how did we end up with all this kind of thing? We already talked this one. So soul goes to 14 Siddhisila. Now, with limitation of language, coming back to our stanza right now, limitation of language, Guru cannot explain the eternal, true indivisibility, nature of soul, substance without any divisions. Because there is a limitation of language. And so experience soul like Kun Kun Bhagwan. Experience soul like Tirthankar Bhagwan. Experience soul like Gautam Gandhar. There's a language limitation. An experience soul of somebody like a guru, that he cannot explain the true nature of the soul without taking support of divisional aspect. So what happens here? In actuality, there are no divisions in infinite attribute residing in the soul substance. Only with the spoken words one can explain the indivisibility in the form of divisions. We have to take the support of division. You know, I have the house, I have the guest house, I have the kitchen, I have the bedroom, I have the living room. I have made the division to have you understand how my house looks like. Okay, so I gave all the description to you about my house. But you still don't know what it is. Now you just say, but still tell me what's your house. Well, I explain to you as much as I can. There are more windows, there are more views, and I can see sunset. And so what? To really understand my house, you have to come to my house. You have to experience my house. Then you know what I was talking to you. Same thing, our Acharya Bhagwan says, our enlightened monk says, our enlightened Guru, they say, Gurudev Kanji Swami says, Kun Swami says to us that, you know what? We are talking to you about this soul's experience and everything, what is soul made of. If you don't understand, if you like it, come down and experience yourself. Take it deep into this water. Sitting in the bank of the water, you won't feel the coolness of water. You want to feel how cool water is? Dive inside. Gurudev one time was talking, Kanji Swami was talking, and he's in a great mood and talking and talking. And at that time, what is his name? The one who is translated all this Shah.
Mahendra Shah.
Huh?
Mahendra Shah?
No. The person who was with Gurudev, he translated Himmat Bhai Shah. Himmat Bhai Shah, he translated all the scripture into Gujarati with the poem and everything. So he said to Gurudev, he said, Gurudev, when you're talking, it appears you are eating some sweet and experiencing the sweet. Gurudev said, Dabba is open. You can come and actually you can also start eating these sweets also. It is not mine only. Anybody can eat. In the sense, you also experience. Actually, Gujarati word, what he said, that Gurudev, આપ જ્યારે બોલો છો ને ત્યારે જાણે ડબ્બામાંથી ખાજા કાઢીને ખાતા હોય એવું અમને લાગે છે કે ગુરુદેવ કે ડબ્બો ખુલ્લો જ છે તમે ખાજા ખાવા માંડો. That's what, so translating it just loses its charm, but that's what it is. So spoken words, one can explain the indivisibility in the form of divisions. And remember, this is the central theme coming in this stanza again and again and again. Indivisibility explained in the form of division. What's the heart of 7th stanza? This is the heart of 7th stanza, that one has to understand the indivisibility from scripture, which shows the divisions. Ignorant soul has never experienced the indivisibility nature of the soul, so he's been explained in the form of divisions only. I did not experience my soul, so Acharya Bhagwan says, okay, I'll explain to you. Do you become angry? Yes, sir. Then anger is not the nature of your soul. Do you become egoistic? Yes. Ego is not the nature of the true nature of the soul. And like that, whatever I experience from that negative perspective, they take it. So I'm not an ego, I'm not a deceit, I'm not a greed, I'm not anger, deceit, ego, greed. So who am I? And Gurudev says, come within, experience, and then you know who am I tell you everything from negative perspective, which you day to day you experience those things, anger, deceit, greed, ego, you experience that one. That is not your true nature. So this is the way Acharya Bhagwan tries to explain to us. Let me take this thing off for a while. Explanations are done in division, but one has to understand them in the indivisible form, and that's what we are talking all the time. So any questions so far? Because this is the thing, we covered lots of things, and I'm glad that there are lots of questions also raised, because this Karnan Yoga is a very special breed. It is extremely microscopic. Literature says Dravyan Yoga is very easy to understand. Karnan Yoga, it takes real intellect to understand all this intricacy. Okay, any questions so far? If none, then we'll start closing maybe.
Kirit, next week will we? Are we almost done with 7, or do we have more to do?
I think it is a tail part of it. We are almost there now, so next week it should be done completely,
All right.
Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
Kirit uncle?
Yes.
I missed some connection. This last slide, how does that connect with all the things with the Gunstana? It's just that an omniscient Lord cannot explain the Gunstanas. Is that what it is? What was?
Okay. Omniscient Lord cannot explain in the words about the experience that he's getting it. So he says that once you experience, then I said, okay, I experienced, then what? Then he says, once you get experience, then there's a ladder to climb. And that's a Gunsthanak ladder you'll be climbing. Ultimately, you'll come and reside next to me forever.
So he's not able to articulate all the things about the Gunsthanak. Is that what you're saying?
He cannot articulate the experiencing phase of Gunsthanak.
Okay.
Rest of the things, yes, I'm angry, I'm doing a rag, I'm doing dvesh, I'm doing ego. All those things are experienced. But the experiencing phase I had never experienced, and he tries to teach me what it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll do closing. Javani ke gyan se suje lokalo, sovani mastaka namo sada deta hu do. Noba namo ka mantra. Thank you.